Hi, I'm Cliff Jackson, and I wanted to show you a little bit about the Toyota Prius Prime. I've had my Prime for about a year and a half now, and still love it. The Prius Prime is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. It's four-door. It's the electrical charging station. The car charges with a regular 120 volt outlet. Takes about 6 hours to reach a full charge. The Prius is a hatchback, so the rear seats fold down, the cargo cover comes out, and really has a lot of cargo space. It's a keyless ignition. So I've put, if you can see that, almost 17,000 miles on this vehicle. The MPG next to that, 118.9, that is the actual fuel efficiency that I've had since I've had this car. So about a year and a half, 17,000 miles, 118.9 miles per gallon of gas. I remember last summer, I went a full 2,000 miles between filling up at the filling station. Now, the car is on right now. It's just in electric mode, so there's no engine running. Right now you can see the energy monitor. There's nothing going on. I've got climate turned off, and I don't know if you can see that. As I pull forward, the electric from the battery is flowing to the motors to drive the wheels. The engine kicks on as needed when you run out of gas, or if you're in a situation where you need a little more performance, although the electric engine performs extremely well. The engine does kick on for about 30 seconds or so almost every morning on my daily commute, just to imagine just to run the gas out of the system and keep everything operating normally. The Prius, it has a heads-up display, which I don't know if it'll come out. You can kind of see it there. Displays right on the glass, and right now with a full charge, it's saying I've got 30.3 miles of range left. That is approximate. In warmer times, like last summer, the range would go up as much as 34, almost 35 miles on a charge. And that's relatively accurate. It all depends on how you're driving, though. I can get on the interstate and quickly run these batteries out if I go 70, 75, 80. But on my daily commute, I bought this car because my daily commute's about 20 miles, and on most days I operate on pure electric, other than the few seconds that the gas engine runs. So that's a little bit about this Prius Prime. I believe it's the most fuel efficient hybrid on the market. Toyota's been making hybrid drivetrains longer, I think longer than about anyone, and The Prime is their first plug-in rechargeable, which was very important to me. And they're putting this hybrid drivetrain in the RAV4 in 2021. And the Prime model of the RAV4 will be a plug-in electric hybrid as well. Ground clearance is about the only problem I've had with this card. It's a little bit low, especially in the winter months, although it drives fine. So I've had it in a few inches of snow, and it's done very well. Performance-wise, it's great. The like I said, the electric engine performs very well. The gasoline engine, when it's in eco mode, it doesn't have a lot of power, but if you put it in normal or in power mode, which you can do with these drive mode buttons down here, there you can see normal or power. And I didn't really discover this feature for the longest time, and the only complaint I had about the car was that when it was operating on the gas engine, the performance was rather poor. But that's because I never took it out of eco mode. Once I discovered the normal and the power mode, it's a very peppy little car. So hopefully that helps you get to know the Prius Prime just a little bit better. Happy Earth Day. So we're going to take a short drive in the Prius Prime so you can see a little bit about how it runs. So in honor of Earth Day, I have reset my mileage. For the life of the vehicle, had 118.9 miles per gallon, and I just reset that, and it starts over at 999.9. So let's see if we can't keep it there. The car runs very, very quietly. If you notice in the heads-up display, you can see the miles left on this trip, on this charge, decreases rather rapidly as we're going uphill, but you'll see it also increase as we go down the hill. One thing I like about the Toyota is it gives you lots and lots of feedback, like that little blue bar on the heads-up display that says you're generating electric. Then when it's green, you're using, and if you're driving at a reasonable pace, you should be able to keep the green bar right about that EV mark. If you stomp on the accelerator, it'll go up, and then the engine will even kick on, and it'll turn red. All of this feedback, though, helps make you a more fuel-efficient driver. Okay, so we just drove about 8 miles, and the charge indicator indicates we still have 25.3 miles left on this charge. So as you can see, it all depends on how you're driving and the terrain, uphill, downhill, as to how many miles you get out of that charge. Also, it has a lot to do with how you run your air conditioner. Now, our gas engine did kick on for a little bit, so we did use some gas, and that dropped our mileage from 1,000 miles per gallon down to 135.8. Now, last summer, when I had 2,000 miles on a tank of gasoline, I averaged just over 200 miles per gallon for that entire tank. Now, what was the difference? Well, for those 2 months during the summer, I probably didn't take any long trips, and I was pretty much just running on electric the entire 2 months. And so that's how I was able to do that. So this keyless entry is really nice. Only works on the drivers and passengers door handles, not on the rear doors. But once you touch one handle, they all unlock. So there we we go. We're started up, ready to go. Okay, so we just went about 16 miles and our heads-up display is at 14.6, so yeah, that's pretty accurate. One thing I really like about this is, as I said, all the feedback that it gives you. So watch what happens when I turn the ignition off. It gives me a grade. Excellent start and acceleration, keep current driving style. Score 78 out of 100. So not too bad. That's a C plus. It's very challenging to get an A in this vehicle, but okay, for the charger, it's that little box, regular 110 outlet. This is what the charger looks like. Green LED means it's charging. And there are 3 little blue LEDs on the dash. And when all 3 are blinking, or all 3 are lit solid, it's fully charged. So it gives you an indication. So we're somewhere about 50% charged now, and that's exactly what our trip indicator indicated to us as well. Some features could only be shown while I was actually operating the vehicle. Certainly, I do not condone driving and shooting any video. So please be safe out there, be careful, and happy Earth Day 2020.